Robot, peace and blessings. Let's go in. Our people, we don't need to make up who we are, right? If we understand who we are, we don't need to make this up. All right, we don't need European terms to designate who we are when we understand who we are scientifically. All right, before I go into this lesson, this nice science lesson, let's preview another book. All right, this is a book by Mark Amaru Pinkham, The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom. This is a good read. It'll break down the serpent wisdom from Africa, Ethiopia, Asia, India, South America, the Caribbeans, North America. All right, that's The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amaru Pinkham. Good read. You should pick it up. All right, let's go into the lesson. Okay, who are the original sun people? You see that across the bottom of the screen. Okay, now here's a breakdown of why sun heat genes or eumelanin is important. Because the Most High Son designated that these original people, the sun people with woolly hair, would be born minus diseases. Okay, so you got to think about this from the past. There are people with eumelanin skin, people with pheomelanin skin that is considered a mutation that began to contract cancers, skin cancers, melanoma by coming back into the tropic zones. Okay, the ghosts with straight hair, you would say, if they had a problem then, why don't they have a problem now? Because they needed to kidnap and tie into the vine. I want to use the R word, but I don't want to say that. You understand? And when I mean R word, it's R and ape, right? In order to coat their genes, okay, in melanin. Why are some people subjected to bodily damage from the sun and others aren't? Okay, so when it comes down to America, all right, the people who are telling you that we are originally Americans and have no connection to Africa at all, they're not giving you any science. All right, and that's why some of these arguments that they're having is kind of mute. They'll stay showing us pictures of what the original Indians look like, but you need to understand etymology. Indian is a Greek term and a Spanish and Portuguese term. You understand? It shows you that in the definition. So, there's a couple of people that I ask, while you're showing us these pictures, you're not giving any science. You're not really giving any proper names of the tribes. You don't know the people in the pictures that you're showing to try to designate that the original people in America are Indian, right? You're more or less riding with a motion, okay? And spirit beings are controllers and programmers of emotions. If you look at the position of North America, right, in relation to the planet Earth and in relation to the tropic zones, you will understand this, that eumelanin came out of the sun tropic zones, okay? That's close to the equator. Now, there's some people stating that we spontaneously grew in continents, all right? We spontaneously just grew in continents. And you know what? I have no problem with that. But how do you scientifically show that? Okay. The consensus is by modern scientists and major Black writers and authors out there that deal with consciousness is that all human beings came from Africa. That means if you feel like the original Indians are American only, then they can't be in America minus being from Africa and also coming over here before European and before white European encroachment. Okay, these terms that they call us, it's their terms, right? Another thing that we don't deal with is the origins of languages. Now you see the information here. It says, why are some people subjected to bodily damage from the sun and others aren't? It's because some people have melanin, than more melanin than others. Okay, we know that. Melanin is described as black and brown pigment, not just brown pigment, it's black and brown pigment. Well, where is the black at? And the most important aspect of the blackness is in your eye. Okay. There's no coincidence, okay, that the eye, the black part of the eye is called the pupil, okay, because we are students of the Most High in consciousness, and we receive this consciousness and this intelligence, not just education and smartness, this intelligence from the electromagnetic rays or the ultraviolet rays that beam down and hit the atmosphere and coat this planet. Okay, you got to understand that the planet Earth and planets are and can be considered cells, right? He goes in to talk about 9 ether. Okay, now what does blackness do in relation to melanin versus whiteness or melanin recessive beings? What happens when the skin is being bombarded by ultraviolet radiation? Where those with eumelanin, okay, eumelanin absorb, it is stated scientifically and by way of fact that eumelanin skin absorbs ultraviolet radiation 99.9%. Okay. Whereas ghost skin, melanin recessive beings reflect the ultraviolet radiation. What is the difference? Well, we absorb the UV radiation and we send it all over the body. We get charged up. You know what I'm saying? It activates the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we know how to get down. You feel what I'm saying? That's why Black people are super cool. You know what I mean? We do things naturally that other races don't do. You know, ghost skin and UV radiation, the reflection is the skin, right? It's not an absorber. It's actually a barrier and an obstacle for discharging light radiation to get into the skin. So the reflection is causing the burn. The longer the sun is burning on the skin, then it's damaging cells. Now, the deep thing about cancer is one cell can go out of whack and it starts controlling and programming other cells. Okay, melanin, which is from the Greek word melano. So people be like, oh, that term is a Greek term. That term is this term. That term is this term. In an order of power, by way of almighty nature, every race, in a sense, has had its time of power. Okay, we had ours first, and then that descends down into the ghost. Okay, the ghost came into power 6,000, 7,000 years ago. You dig what I'm saying? 6,000, 7,000 years ago, and their tutelage and intelligence is really coming from the Hindus. Okay. The Greeks and the Romans, they didn't travel deep into the interior of Ethiopia. When I say Ethiopian, I'm saying Africa, right? Africa really is the northern part, all right, of Africa. The rest of it on some maps, okay, before they decided like this is what the modern map is going to be, we're going to call all of it Africa, was Sudan and Ethiopia, along with the Ethiopian Ocean on the left side and the Indian Ocean on the right side. Okay. Now let's go down here, right, where it says melanin, which is from the Greek word melano, meaning black. Now, this is the Greeks describing what's happening on a cellular level, not on a race level or misnomer level. You know what I'm saying? This is a cellular level that they're describing. Okay. And when it comes down to medicine, they weren't the first ones to deal with medicine. It was the Egyptians. It was the Nubians. You understand what I'm saying? So the black is a universal, just like 9 science information is universal. Is a universal pigment in living organisms produced by the pineal gland from the amino acid tyrosine by pigment cells called melanocytes. Okay. Now, people talk about, the American Indians are the original people with just copper colored skin. They rarely mention the woolly hair. Now they trying to catch on right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm throwing stuff at them. And you can't do nothing but look at the comments. They don't even answer my comments, right? Like, how are you on your science? And when somebody wants to learn something that you're putting out, you look at it like it's a jab at your education, because it's not really intelligent what you're doing. You look at it like it's a jab to your education, and so you ignore the question. You dig what I'm saying? Which is whack. All right. Copper color skin. That's what they say. Oh, we got the copper color skin. If you look at Hindus, okay, let me see if I could pull up a picture. Let me open this up. And I'm only going to deviate because I want to stick to the lesson one time. Hold on. Let me do this better. Let's share this. Okay. These are Indians from India. Okay. No, it's not an if. This is what they did. Okay, so there's people in America that look like this, right? This is why they call them Indians, because they look like this. There was a designation between Negro and African and Negro and Indian. Okay, the Indians in America look like this. And I'm not talking about the way the face is shaped, but in a sense, yes, I'm talking about the skin color and the hair. Is this a copper colored person? Okay. Is this a copper colored person? That's what I'm talking about. Let's go back. All right, so here's a breakdown of what's cracking in the skin and in the cells. Okay, this book came out in the 90s. All right, and they still not on this level yet. By natural intelligence, by way of their ancestors and the almighty positive forces of nature and identification and understanding who we are. They are not even speaking. This should be the base level of why you're talking about, I got copper skin. Why am I bringing up copper skin? Okay. Because they stay giving you this definition, but they won't give you like the Indian definition from 1828. See, it says copper colored races. It didn't say the copper colored race. All right. A native of America. Hold on, let's get a better one. Let's get the better definition. Hold on. I'm tripping. Here we go. I didn't share the screen. My bad. It's all good. Boom. All right. A native of America. Okay. That don't say American Indian. An American Indian from America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper colored races. Races is plural. A native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals, or could you put also right there? Copper colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. So the jump on this definition always, right, is of course Aboriginal, but that's not original. You dig me? Okay. Copper colored races. Let's go back. Okay. They don't break it down. It's right there, and you probably don't even see it. Okay. It's right there, and you probably don't even see it. All right. The amino acid tyrosine. Do I have it up already? Okay. Boom. Now, the process, right? You see the process at the bottom, tyrosine, dopa, melanin. Okay. Tyrosinase is a copper-containing enzyme present in plant and animal tissues that catalyzes the production of melanin and other pigments from tyrosine by oxidation. Okay, so when you give your people that we are the copper color races, okay, that's a description term where they looked at you and they was like, oh, you copper color. Like I'm almost kind of blending in with this poster right here. You copper color. All right. But that's not a description that they gave, right? You don't even have to, I mean, that is a description that they gave, but you don't have to take on the description when you know it's science. The copper is coming from tyrosinase. Okay. That catalyzes the production of melanin and other pigments from tyrosine by oxidation. And I've already showed you the differences between eumelanin and pheomelanin. Natural eumelanin, bizarro pheomelanin. Bizarro pheomelanin, right? It's a mutation. Where did the mutation derive? Yet they say like albinism and things of that nature, original Africans, original Black people, you melaninites carry this gene, right? But there's different mutations going on when you're outside of the sun zone. Okay. When you're outside of the sun zone, right? Let's go back. So here's the breakdown. In fact, I shouldn't even leave you hanging like that. So let's actually show it. Let's actually show it. All right, let's see if I can get all right. So the information that Dr. York was giving us, although this is not shown, this is what he is talking about. Right? This is what he is talking about. So tyrosinase would be at the top. Tyrosine. For all of us, that's correct. This is humans, and humans coming after the original melaninite humans. You feel me? The original melaninite humans. Dopamine, and dopaquinone, all the same, right? We got this. But then, if you look to the left, it's dopachrome. Okay. It's dopachrome. All right. But on the right side, it's cystinodopa. That's steam. You know where you hear that steam, raw steam. You know what I'm saying? Jacob Myers steam. You feel me? And then you got the cystinodopa. All right. This is where the pathways separate. Then for this dope eumelanin skin, we got this DECA going on, and we got this DHI going on. There's some big scientific words. I don't want to try to pronounce them. Look, you don't have that at all over on the right side. You don't have that at all at the right side. Okay. So there's some cracking. We not the same. This is deep. We not the same. Oh, we go down to this 5,6 quinone and this indole 5,6 carboxylic acid quinone. You don't have this on the right side. Okay. This is if black people the coolest people on the planet, and we are. You see what I'm saying? Don't have us bring out the drums. You will have them dancing. They're gonna raise up like zombies and get to life. You see? Pheomelanin, yellow to red. That's burning. That's getting burnt up. I'm trying to think of the movie with Orlando Bloom in it. It's the Kingdom of something. But there was a dude in there. I think he was a hemophiliac, and he had melanoma. He had that he had to wear that white and that silver shit because that sun couldn't hit him. Okay, that sun couldn't hit him. These genes is important, and this is the base, man. This is the base of who we are, right? This is the base of who we are. Skin tones. So nah, we not the black race. When we talking about blackness, we talking about the pigment eumelanin. We talking about the pigment eumelanin. I mean, we can change it all. We can change the game. This is the game changer right here. Where does blackness come from? If it's negative, right here, it's super positive. Eumelanin. All right. Eumelanin. Boom. Okay, they be watching my videos. They be watching my videos, but they don't want it. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Because they like, oh man, your videos got low views. You know, it's man, I know y'all watching my videos, you know, and it's cool if you subscribe or don't subscribe, but the information is worth, right? And the little small views that are on my channels, those who know that I deal with NEY science, they've been watching for years. Inky just did a show on Sonetter against Laura Albert. He talking about eumelanin, but he didn't give it to you. He tried to apply it to ancient Egypt, and that's cool. But you should have applied it to the sun. You didn't have to talk about Osiris. You could have talked about Ray. You see what I'm saying? So the word eumelanin comes from the English words you, good, well, true, genuine. Right? The universe of ether. Okay? Let's see if we can get a pheomelanin definition. A shade between black and white, gray, dark gray. Okay? Reddish, yellow, sulfur containing. You see that right here? This is Webster's. Boom. Hold on. Is it going to take us there? Get out of here, co-pilot. All right. A reddish, yellow, sulfur containing melanin pigment formed in the presence of cysteine. Okay. Then you got neuromelanin, a dark melanin pigment found especially in some dopaminergic neurons of the human. Okay. Dopaminergic. All right. So it showed you the tyrosine breakdown down into the dopaquinone. All right. Dopamine. So it shows you that this dark melanin is connected to your dopamine. So why you think they got the drug, the crack and all the cigarettes and all of that stuff? You know what I mean? This is connecting to our dopamine. Alcohol as well, even though it's damaging organs, is connected to your dopamine. That's why when you drink, you up. For some people, they up. They're trying to get wild. You know what I mean? Substantia nigra, literally black substance. Researchers now understand that these cells gain their darker coloration from the oxidation of dopamine to form the black pigment neuromelanin. And look, when I was trying to be funny, but I wasn't, Rothstein, the Steens. Okay? That's where the problem is at with the Steens. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. How else would you say this? Oh, look at us. We're not black. We're dark brown. Okay, don't matter. Because you know what happens when this is absent in the brain, this neuromelanin is absent, you ain't gonna know who you are. Alzheimer's. You did. Let's go back to the science. Boom. What they giving you, man, to show you who you are. Really. Because this would come first. Why would this come first? This is almighty nature. This is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Right? Coming from the sun, creating DNA, creating protozoal one-cell organisms that multiplied into beings, right? Giving us eumelaninites. that came out of Africa. Because still, if you're an original American Indian in America, how did you originate here? What is the origin of the woolly-haired people in a collective? Okay, people with these melanin genes is not separate. It's one organism. Okay. So our woolly hair may correctly be called granulation. If one puts a straight strand of hair closer and closer to a fire, the strand of hair will granulate. That is, ball up because of the potency of the heat. So it tells you right there that the original shape of the Most High is balls, orbs. You know what I mean? Circles. And they'll show you that when we go into the symbol of the sun, right? Balls, which are potent. If you ain't got no issues, if your flow is on point. Okay. So you see, oh my bad. I'll be forgetting to share the tab. You see on the right? It says names, sun, soul, Helios, right? It should be Heru as well. Adjectives, solar, symbol, boom. You see that circle with the dot in the middle? Okay. That's riding on mustard and mayonnaise. Spokes and bows. Okay. This symbol really deep because everything started from a point and worked its way out. All right. Let's go back to the information. So that's the symbol. Okay. Let's see if it's in here. Sun heat genes. All right. We reiterate the only people who could survive in the Earth's original dense and hot atmosphere just after the fiery creation were those who had sun heat genes within so strong that they would kink the hair. All right. And those people were our ancestors, the African pygmies or the Ethiopian pygmies. Why does he keep saying Ethiopian? Give me a moment. There we go. That's where I want to be at. Why does he keep saying Ethiopian? All right. This is an old map. Oh man, where I go? That's all good. This is an old map, right? You see it says Ethiopia on the bottom part of Africa. Okay. Ethiopic Ocean or Southern Ocean. Okay. This had to predate the Atlantic Ocean because it's not called the Ethiopian Ocean anymore. Ethiopian Sea. Okay. Let's go back here. Oh, let me bring this down. Is this where I want to be at? No, let's go back. Let's go back. All right. There go another picture. Ethiopia, Sudan, and Abyssinia. All right, so on this map, they're separating Ethiopia, okay, from Abyssinia. All right, so Lake Victoria is the information given for the birth of the original humans, okay? How did it happen? I don't want to go into that right now, but science endeavors to talk about how Ethiopians were created on a continent called Africa today. All right. So this is why I'm using the term. Why didn't that come up? Ethiopia. And you don't have to like the term. Okay. You can create your own terms, but your terms should be backed up by science. Right. And we already took that where we come from is connected to you melanin. Okay. Well, where we come from is connected to the Most High Sun. Right. It's connected to the Most High Sun. So everybody else around the planet, how y'all get here? Because they want to be dark and they want to identify with the straight hair. All right. And then I showed you this. Well, I didn't show it yet. I popped into it. All right. And this is what I'm talking about. If you say, oh, we come from Middle America and South America, where it's green at, okay, well, let's deal with some origins then. Hold on, I ain't shared right there. All right. If you come from on the left side where it's green at, all right, because in the tropical zone is where Lake Victoria is at. Right. So you got to be in the green, because in Africa, you know what I'm saying, what was potent in there is what created the melanin in that green. So I'm with spontaneously we grew on the left side. Okay. I'm with that. How? Where is the science? Because green in Africa populated all of that, touched all of that first with some woolly hair. You know, then there was some mixtures down the line. But how did you get here? And how did you get there? Without being from the home base. See, Africa is the home base. It's in the middle. Excuse me. They hate it, man. They don't like that. They don't like intelligent people. They don't want you to be intelligent. They don't want you to be intelligent and use common sense, right? All is connected to you melanin. Hot. That mug say hot. Why do I say sun zone? Within the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. You see? What is the origin of some people? All right. We're not even understanding our planet. We just like, hey, because that's what we are, because we don't want to be Africans. We broke. You know what I mean? And look, we reiterate the only people who could survive in the Earth's original dense and hot atmosphere just after the fire creation were those who had sunny genes within so strong that they would kink the hair. And those people were our ancestors. Okay. Black skin is sun skin. So you don't have to be black, but you can be sun, the sons and daughters of God. With you melanin skin. In fact, that's a step and a class above in description. Okay. You know what? I'm not even, in a sense, we're not even using their descriptions. Okay. We're not even using their descriptions. That's what time it is right now. We're not even using their descriptions to classify us. Right. This not the time to be a separatist. If you rich and wealthy in mind and have value and worth in yourself, it's not the time to be separatist. This information been out since the 60s. Y'all on the late pass. This deep information, a lot of people don't even get this information. You know what? Really, because you're scared. You're scared to be true to yourself, right? This information is called the 9-ball. It's connected to the BIAE, right? It came out in the 60s. Man, it's some of the most revolutionary, liberative information that you can find on yourself. Because this information is not really saying, hey, go back into the past and see that you were a great empire and remember who you was. Nah, this is who we are. This is who we are. The sun is 9 and the 9 is the ball, which may conveniently be drawn as the circle. Okay? Remember, the symbol, this, you see what I'm saying? In ancient times, the African pygmy was called Fatah and worshipped as a personification of the original creator. The pygmies are from the sun, and we are from the pygmies, and this means we bigger Ethiopians are the sun too. That's math. Simple. Bow, boom, bow, bow. We are evolutionary Ta. Mother Earth gave birth to our ancestors. The African pygmies from the source of the Nile, from the source of the Nile on the equator in Africa. Now, this is the science that I was telling you about that I didn't want to endeavor to go into right now, but it is mentioning in this. I'm just saying there's a greater breakdown from this. The eggs of Mother Earth in the source of the Nile River was impregnated by 9 ether rays from Father Sun, the 9 power. Like the sun, woolly hair symbolizes potency, life, and originality. Okay? What do you connect that to? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, melanin. Right? The Ethiopian is the only one of the races who grows his and her crown by nature. Woolly hair stands up like a crown, and this makes the Ethiopian the natural king and queen of the universes by nature. This is a brief introduction to 9, Ethiopian, and 9 is your own woolly haired self. That's science, that's math. You know what I'm saying? But where can we see this played out at? If you heard about it, by Tesla. All right. Vortex math. Now it's broken down in many different ways. This is the Ennead of Heliopolis. Okay, when you get into the Ennead and the older one, right, you're still getting into what we're talking about right now. But the Ennead is the gods of 9, the company of 9. You dig what I'm saying? You start getting into astrology, the planets, the zodiac. All right, there's combinations in the universe that play out by nature. All right, based on 369. Oh man, my bad. I ain't shared the tab. All right, let's go back. The vortex math. Keep in mind everything that I said. I'm gonna just go back to the pictures. All right. Where's the one with the Ennead? All right, here we go. Boom. Right. Okay. The Kabbalah. All of this, you're gonna find different symbols in this. Okay. Numerology. And you gotta look at when you were born too. So my numbers break down in my name and my birthday to 9. That's how I know I'm on the right science. Okay. Simply, I was born in 12/15, December 15th. You add them numbers together, that's 9. right? Get into my name and starts breaking down the 9. Okay, so the science is actually 369. Who is the only, well, I'm not going to say the only because Madame Blavatsky talked about it too, but they took their information. They are not originators of information. It's Dr. Malachi Z. York. Okay, we see in Tesla as well. So yeah, let's go. So when you really thinking about you dealing with the circle. Okay, thinking is the straight line mental process of the chemicals of brain matter. Dan Calloway just came to make you think. This is not a coincidence that these words are put together to form sentences for you to get an idea of understanding and overstanding. Thinking, I just came to make you think. I'm just here to make you think. You thinking already is the straight line mental process of the chemicals of brain matter, whereas reasoning is the circle mental process of the chemicals in matter. Okay. You see that? The straight line mental process is mental exercise based on a higher percentage of negative brain matter than positive. So based on my sciences, Dan Calloway just came to make us think. Okay, we're dealing with some real scientists of nature right here. All right, and that's a higher percentage of negative brain matter than positive. Why do I say that? Because there's a lot of people who don't agree with Dan Calloway, and in fact, Dan Calloway, without y'all know, is infuriating a lot of people, or getting a lot of people heated. Okay, because he's being called out on some of the information that he's presenting. He not coming with no real science. Okay. Thinking is the exercise of brain matter and mental depth, and reasoning is the exercise of brain matter and mental life. When more negative brain matter is active than positive brain matter, the mind is mentally dead. And when the reverse exists, the mind is mentally alive. So hold on. The fuck? Crypto. All right. So you see, I'm just here to make you think. Incorporate it. He incorporated that. He incorporated that. But if you ask him what is the origins, he has yet to tell you. But I'll throw up all these pictures. Here it is. My bad. Let's go back. He incorporated. I'm just here to make you think. This is what I'm saying. When you hit with a spirit, right? Because Dan Calloway came in 2015. This information came from the 60s. So it's already tracking the spirits that we're going to see manifest, who are going to be trying to be soothsayers, teachers of people, and they don't have correct information. They have enough to entice you and deceive you and manipulate you, right? Because when you get over on that side, it's all speculation. They talking about what my grandma told me. And that's cool. But when you look at the history of the protest of this, like they protesting right now, it don't start until 2015. And there's no dialogue prior to that of Black Indians in mass actually protesting, taking anything to the government, the White House, or anything, saying that we are this, right? Why? Because they don't really know who they are, not yet. And this is what this information was given for. Reasoning is a thinking above the animal level. 9, reason is the highest form of mental process. What is the animal level? Ghost, blue-eyed, straight hair, people thinking. 3, ether, ghost thinking. In some case, 6, ethereal thinking. 9, reason is the highest form of mental process. 9, reason is the mind of the original creator. The true stars, the suns. Now we just shown how the sun is the original creator. So bam, that just knock out with a right uppercut, hit you with that Mike Tyson jab to the rib, and then a bow. You know what I'm saying? You out of there. Allah. Yahweh. Okay. They will say when you break down Yahweh, Yahweh can go to connected to an older God. Let's say Enlil. Okay. When you look at some information, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about how you melaninites got here by way of the sun. You dig what I'm saying? 9, reason is the elevator of Ethiopian minds, and 9, knowledge. The knowledge that 9, reason produces is the liberator of our minds, and vice versa. A person sees, hears, feels, tastes, and smells with his or her mind via the nerve system. When you get into the nerve system, you start getting into dopamine. You're still talking about the eumelanin synthesis process. But we're talking about activity, which is the networking tentacles of the brain. When the Ethiopian race lost its ability to reason soundly by way of the evolutionary forces, servitude was inevitable. Leviathan. Okay, I just showed you that book in my last video, Leviathan. The zodiac is the evolutionary forces. Okay, so do people want to be liberated in mind and think for self and kind, or do they just want to be identified and coded differently based on their emotions? Like they don't want to be niggas no more. They want to be Indians, right? What is that? Knowledge is, man, sometimes because y'all chasing the tail now, and y'all really don't know it. Y'all chasing the tail now. Okay. You're limiting yourself now based on what? And if you really want to get into it, if you really want to get into nationality, man, you can't have no nationality in a sense and not have no military. Okay? There's 2 forms of force. Forces of nature and physical force. We're dealing with physics. Hold on. Okay, all of this is applicable. Go look at the 12 universal laws. Okay. All of this is applicable. Let's see if I do it like this. Okay, the 4 fundamental forces: gravitational force, electromagnetic force, right? Strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. All of this is playing out. Okay, you can call it all kind of gods and whatever, goddesses and whatever you want to call it. These terms and these names, but this is what it is. Minus all of that. This is going on whether you like it or not. This is what is affecting us. You dig what I'm saying? This is what got us conscious. We called it consciousness. It became science and religion. And then they watered it down and watered it down. They took the base level, bottom base of it, and they made it into something for themselves. You dealing with the nine science right now. You looking at, if you looking out outside, or you outside or whatever you doing, and you enjoying the sun, you getting the consciousness and the charge right now. I'm sure you happy if you somewhere where it's been winter. Like where I'm at, it's been winter and it's been cold for a long time. I'm getting tired of it because the body now needs the recharge. They try to slap you. Oh, you need vitamin D and things of that nature. That's how you know we don't come from cold places. We come from the tropics. So what is consciousness? Hey man, you're getting a thorough dose of sun rays daily. Look at where the pyramids are built at. Mainly in the sun zone. Okay. These are the fundamental forces of nature. What else is playing out? See if I can find. Now, this is everyday living. I'm not talking about really what you should be running around calling yourself, like if you are Moor, you are Indian. I'm talking about this is stuff that we dealing with every day. This is not really a good place for me to find it. I could really give you the Haka, you know what I'm saying, the Nawapian book, but I just wanted to be quick. I don't like how this look right here, so I want to find something different. I need somewhere where the Hermetic principles. All right, universal law. Let's see if it's under here. No, natural law. Okay, basics. The law of universal divine oneness. Okay. Now people be trying to get all deep and stuff right here. Okay. What does it say? The idea that everything is connected, not just actions, but feelings, ideas, and beliefs. Every little thing affects every little thing. A handy catch all philosophy, which can't really be proven or disproven. It emphasizes the reader's importance and covers the way that any of the following laws can be functional or applicable in one's life. Now, this is a breakdown by, who is this? Where is this coming from? Okay, because it's, when you get it from the hot car from Dr. York, he's talking about the real information. But anyway, let's just go over the law of vibration. Everything vibrates. Law of action, inspired action. Okay, law of correspondence, law of cause effect. This is stuff that's going on right now. This is playing out in almighty nature. This is playing out with cells and everything, right? Law of compensation, of traction, transmutation of energy. Change is the only constant. Okay. Law of relativity, law of polarity, law of rhythm, law of gender. Right. So you got to apply all of this. But what I'm saying is covering what's cracking at the bottom. What is the origin of woolly haired people? And why aren't you getting no science right now with how they originated? All right. Because some of them are tying in information from Dr. York, which means they are using African information, universal Ethiopian information. They're not telling you, but they're hearing it. All right. And it's not just about finding out who you are, in a sense, because what you gonna do about it once you become a damn you an Indian now? You thinking like an Indian. If we need something, we must work and get it or create it. If we need something, we must work and get it or create it. Political. So long as we remain mentally dependent on other races to do our thinking and plan our progress, that is how long we will remain in the ghettos and slums and the poverty and diseases that they produce. And mental dependence presupposes physical dependence. Therefore, mentally dead Ethiopians say that we cannot make it without Caucasian guidance. Not understanding or caring that Caucasian guidance is basically the leadership together with his helpers of other races that degraded us into the miserable status quo in which we find ourselves. Is that not a fact? Are we doing it to ourselves right now? Yeah, damn right we are. Because we've been programmed. We've been programmed, right? And now the natural thing is to sit back and be like, hey, man, if I want some controversy cracking, if I don't want to be listened to, I can't holler at the colonizer. I'm a holler at somebody that look like me. Tell him he off the rocker. He don't know what he talking about, right? And you be like, well, what's the origin though? Man, I don't know. We just here. Right? What are we dealing with today? We're not dealing with identity right now. Identity of who we are is not the problem. Community control, right? It's taking leadership and control of our own destiny. Man, you got the 1% ghost people. You got the 1% black people that's aiding the ghost people, the Methodist Episcopal churchgoers. You going back. You dig what I'm saying? The Methodist Episcopal churchgoers, whether you was a Negro, an Indian, or a black. You got the black 1%. They got money. You think the white 1% holding you back? You can't go in a church and go worship thy God. Thank you, babe. And worship thy God. They're gonna be like, how much you got? A couple of thousand to put in the plates. That's how we play up here. A couple of thousand. You get up on their level and laws and stuff is different. They don't just go to jail. They don't go to jail. It's peasants in the city, man. And you know what peasants do when they like, here come the queen. Here comes the queen. Here comes the royal queen. Everybody be like, yeah, we got something to do now. Because usually we walk groveling in the shit. We need a good soap opera. That being said, man, that's just a little bit of right knowledge. The question is at the bottom. I challenge anybody to tell us how you originated in America without African genealogy, without African connection. You know what I mean? I challenge anybody to tell us that. I want to know myself. Oh, and I don't want to see no pictures, man. Let's get down with the science. It's 9 science. And like I said, and if you connected it to tyrosine, you're a melaninite, you're a woolly haired being coming out of Africa. I'll let y'all go, man. And y'all hold it down. Peace and blessings. Hold on, back. Boom.